This event was sold out in less than 35 days. I want to thank all of you guys for coming out here.
Give it up for Josh King Madrid!
So first things first, I want to thank every single one of you guys for being here. It really does mean the world to me. And I know what you guys see on social media, for the most part, is exactly who I am. For those of you guys that actually met me in person, for those of you guys that met me outside of business, you're like, man, you don't shut off. Like, you're exactly how you are on your story all day. You're exactly how you are on the podcast. And I try to keep it as transparent as possible. There's a certain point, though, in my life where I kind of detached myself from money. And I think when I've done that, that's what's actually allowed me to level up faster, which allowed me to grow, which allowed me to be more useful and have more resources in business and life and relationships and networking. And so I want to share that with you guys because I rarely ever talk about this. I've done that at a few small masterminds. But I want to talk about why I actually, like the real secret that's got me to here, the real secret that's made every single one of you guys in this room show up and resonate with my brand and want to learn what I do and how I had this accelerated success. Because kind of what Alex Morton talked about a little bit earlier is it's way more than the technical stuff. Actually how to make money. Because a lot of people are like, man, you always have so much energy. You're always so fired up, man. You never stop working. You have this birthday event, and you do this instead of going and partying, or you're having this housewarming party, and man, you're just always looking out for other people instead of like living in the moment. And the reality is, I actually am living in the moment. I just have a different purpose. I have a different reason why I do what I do. And I think that's important because otherwise, and all of this that I'm talking about right now, guys, is completely off the top of my head. There's no script for this. I didn't study anything. And I can tell you the same story, and it's going to be pretty much the damn same, 100 out of 100 times, because it's actually who I am and what I feel, and it's actually what drives me. And so, one, I want to thank every single person, again, who's sitting here. All of you guys could have been like, man, it's taking too long, man, I'm going to leave. I see the back is more packed than it's been the rest of the day. So I really do appreciate that. I really do appreciate you guys coming to M3 Accelerator. This was supposed to be just like a one-time event. I got inspired by Dan Fleshman. He had a birthday event called Elevator Boot Camp, and I saw it, and I was like, man, I want to do something like that. And so actually, real quick, can you guys give it up for Dan Fleshman? Can you guys stand up and give it up for Dan Fleshman? Can you guys give some energy? Wherever he is, there he is, over there. So Dan Fleshman is one of the main reasons we were able to land such an incredible speaker lineup at this event. He's one of the main reasons I've been able to get connected and network with some of these super affluent and successful individuals. So I'm super grateful for him. I just wanted to thank him. He's always doing more for other people, and his motives are always intent and they're pure and genuine. And he's just a business stud, but it's more as a stud as an actual person. And anybody that's helped Dan and has contributed, at Money, Brandon Hampton, and also all the speakers as well. Can you guys just give it up for everybody a part of this? Like a standing ovation, like really give me some energy. So, like I said, this event started off, it was just gonna be something very simple. Like a big event, but not all crazy, not doing all this, the penthouse and the lights and all this stuff like that. My vision wasn't that big at first. One of the things I realized is you just gotta always have your vision go bigger. Go bigger, go bigger, go bigger, because you're just gonna keep passing it, and you set a goal, and your goal is right here, and you hit that, and you stop. Well, what if you were right here? What if your goal's right here? What if your goal's right there? So one of the things in the past 6 months that I changed was my idea and visions on what a goal is. I just kind of realized there really is no end goal. Like, you just keep going. You just keep going, and you just keep going, and you just keep going, and you just keep going. And I think some people may have an end goal in terms of financial, means. Hey, I want to make 6 figures. Hey, I want to make 7 figures. Hey, I want to be a millionaire. But it's like, do you just say that because it sounds good? because you think it's a lot of money, you think it'll change your life. Like, what makes you say, hey, I want to stop at 6 figures? And, I used to think like that. People used to be like, how much you want to make this year? And I'd be like, $1 million. And then, you get to $1 million, and it's like, well, why didn't I say 3? And so over the last 6 months, I think I've been able to grow and level up and really improve in my business. And not just business, relationships, networking, the whole full spectrum, because I just decided, hey, there's no cap. It's infinite. I can just go as far as I want, and I'm able to do that because what's driving me to do that is real, and it's who I am as a person. And so I'm going to share a story with you guys. Some of you guys may have heard it before. I may have talked about it once on my a live feed and a couple times in in-person masterminds. But the story has become more and more real and more who I am over the last couple months. And it used to be what I thought and what I wanted to believe. I wanted to say, hey, this was my purpose. Hey, this is why I think this is happening, so I'm going to just run with that. And over the last couple months, it actually became my purpose, and it actually happened, and I feel it. And no matter what, I can't not be that. I can't fake that. And so I'm gonna go back a couple years to the very, very beginning of my journey. And I actually invited a couple buddies here from my high school who were my friends back then. And I don't know if they're in the building yet. They'll be here soon. And then I also reached out to my high school teacher and some old colleagues, some old friends, because I wanted them to hear this story. I was planning no matter what to share this story. This was literally the main and only purpose I really threw this event. And so who here has haters? Who here has haters? Raise your hand. Stand up if you have haters. Who here wants to prove their haters wrong? Right? Okay, cool. So when I first started, man, I had a lot of haters, man. I got started with my journey back in late high school when it came to building a business, getting started online, marketing, etc. And that was so as you guys know, everyone's going crazy oh, you're 21. Well, I started pretty damn early. What I'm doing right now, I've been kind of doing to an extent the past couple of years when nobody else is really doing it. You have the guys who've been in the game a long time, and people know about them for 5, 10, 15 years. But the younger generation, it wasn't something I was ever heard of. When I first started, trying to make money online, people were like, oh, making money online is a scam. That's not possible. That's too good to be true. And so because of that, again, especially in high school, because of that, people are skeptical. And I'm the type of person, if you haven't realized, I just tell everybody what I'm going to do. I tell everybody. A lot of people say, don't tell anybody, just make the moves in silent and then, let your results. I'm going to tell everybody, so I have to fucking do it. So, because otherwise I look dumb. So I tell everybody what I'm going to do. Now, when you're a normal high school kid not making any money, and you're telling people hey, I'm going to get a GTR in a few years, I'm going to, be really wealthy, I'm going to make this type of money, people kind of see that as narcissism, arrogance, conceited, cocky, or just you're out of your damn mind. And so because of that, people would make fun of me, roast me, especially too because I've always been the type of person to share my life. I post, the way I Snapchat now, I've been Snapchatting and doing Instagram stories for 3, 4 years, 5 years before I had any money. I just like to document my life because I think back to 8th grade, I never documented my life. And then I got to 10th grade, and I'm I don't even remember those 2 years. I have nothing to show for it. So I'm just going to document everything. And so, some of you guys, I don't know if anybody's been following me for a couple years, but you probably remember seeing me ride my bike to college or drive my Toyota Tundra and live in a little dorm with 4 people. And that was literally in 2016, 2017. And so, like I said, I always wanted to share my lifestyle, no matter if I'm doing well, if I'm doing bad. And so, because of that, people, tend to, say that, again, cockiness, arrogance, especially when you start leveling up. And everybody kind of knew what I was doing. And so people started making fun of me, making meme pages about me, saying, oh, look at Mr. Entrepreneur guy over here. He thinks he's hot shit. He thinks he makes, it's better than everybody because he makes a couple $100 a month, or he makes his first $1,000 a month. He thinks he's hot shit. And people would literally I can remember on Twitter, there's literally a page that was making fun of me, and it had memes. They'd take my pictures, they'd edit it, and put bad words. I'm not gonna get into detail, but they would put bad words, and a bunch of kids from my school would retweet it and shit. And so it got to the point where I was I don't want this negative energy. I'm just gonna cut it out. And I literally deactivated some of my social medias, and then I just blocked anybody that retweeted the post or liked the post or anything. Just literally blocked them. And then I go to school and I see buddies at school and they're bro, why do you block me? And I'm because you talk shit. I was it's not personal. It's not personal, but like you're talking about my business, and my business is who I am. That's how I operate. So I just can't have that negativity in my life. And that was it. But they kind of took it the wrong way. Obviously, they're not an entrepreneur mindset. They see that as a personal attack. And so it pretty much got to the point where I went from being like a decent athlete that most of the people kind of knew, had, like I wasn't like the cool guy, but everybody knew and said what's up, to being like a loner the last few months of school, not talking to anybody, trying to get out of school and leaving as fast as soon as possible to get home to work on my business. And so I did that, and I've stayed connected with maybe like my immediate circle, like a small, maybe five friends. And that was it. I graduated high school making a couple $1,000s a month. I went to college, started making $5,000 a month, and I grinded over the whole summer. Didn't go out once. No, like end of the year, high school, parties or whatever. I literally stayed in my room, locked the door, and like I literally hopped on my computer until I fell asleep, and I'd wake up like with my head in the computer type of thing. And I was like and sometimes I'd even fall asleep on the couch. So now I have like this weird little thing where if I don't sleep on the couch, like I don't feel like I'm not working that hard. So I literally spent like the last 3 months, like 90% of the time, like sleeping on the couch. And so like that was just me. By the time it was like December 2016, I made like 27 grand. And my vision was never to drop out. My vision was never to leave school. I was supposed to be a doctor. My dad's here today. I don't know where he's at. Somewhere over there. So he's a doctor. So that was just kind of what I modeled to do my whole life. And then I kind of realized, I'm like, man, it's just not really me. I'm doing well with what I'm doing. At first, my parents were like, this is like so new, like you should really think about it before making this decision to want to drop out. You worked so hard, you went to school for this long, et cetera, like why throw it all away? And so I didn't drop out because of that. And my parents continued to see me though grow and keep working at the same work ethic and keep going, where finally I pretty much got their blessing. Like I could have dropped out anyways. They said like, hey, we don't really care. Just this is what we think. But like I kind of wanted like the blessing. I wanted to be able to move forward with like out of scarcity mindset and move out of abundance. And then finally my parents came to me and they're like, you know what? You're the type of person that will execute at anything you do. Like you should just full force take this if you believe you should do that. Because this opportunity might not be around 3-4 years from now when you graduate from college, but you can always go back to college. And the second I said that, boom, I signed the withdrawal papers. I was out of UCI. I stayed living there for maybe like 6-7 months. It was just really weird because I was starting to make like 30 to like 100K a month over that 6-7 months. But I'm living in like a dorm room with like 4 like frat dudes who party every single day, and the house looked like literally like a shack or like a crackhead house. And so eventually I moved out. That's when I did my first crazy birthday trip. I went to like Vegas and Bel Air and rented all these crazy things. And so kind of my strategy since then has been work extremely hard the first few months of the year, and then I'll take off March to an extent and just kind of live life and sit back and reap the benefits. And so I did that this year. But after I saw the Fleshman's event, I want to do something more impactful. Instead of just all about me this month, let's make it all about other people. And so obviously, here you guys are today. I've done some trips, and I'm planning trips where I'm taking care of everything for the people that are coming with me, the people I care about. And, it's a great feeling. Now, I'm not even gonna lie, I've spent the last 3 months working harder than I've ever worked in my life. I've been stressed. I've been like anxious, nervous, sad, like every single emotion you can imagine. But I still had this conviction and this certainty that, hey, I can still keep going, and I still have, I know what's gonna happen for sure. And literally, if you talk to anybody in my inner circle that you see me post on my social media, if you catch any of those people today, they'll tell you the story. I probably told a story to each of them a million times. And sometimes I just feel like I have to get things out my head for me to be able to work and to grow. And so, anyways, flashback to high school. I did my own thing. I obviously went from here to here over that period of time, but it completely changed my law of association. It completely changed the group of people I hang out with, which I do think is important. I do think all of you guys should obviously level up and try to meet new people who are more successful than you and get around that. But like I said, I also cut off the people who were in my circle for years that were just good people. They might not have the same vision as me, but they're good people. And I didn't, now I think back, I'm like, hey, was it really right to justify that just because they're not doing the same thing as me? And I realize it's important to really still nurture those relationships, whether or not you guys are hanging out 24/7, but still to nurture those relationships. So I was, like I said, man, I was in other people's head, arrogant. In my head, I was just confident, and I had a belief level, like, insanely through the roof. So I remember a senior ditch day, I'm at the beach with my buddies, and actually, let's scratch that. I didn't remember this at first. I found out about this from a video that I had on my phone. And I had no Wi-Fi at this shitty-ass dorm, so I used to always go through all my old photos and videos and just to kill time. And so I'm going through these old videos, and I come across this one, and it's me and like 7 friends. We're at the beach, it's senior ditch day, and I'm like, everyone quiet, everyone quiet, everyone quiet. And one of my friends is like, we're making a bet. Me and my friends, we always bumped heads, we always want to make bets, we always try to call each other out, because we're all in sports, we're all athletes, and we want to be very competitive. And everybody thought they're always right. And so we're making a bet. And my buddy Peter says, Josh, there's no way that, and like, 'cause I'm telling him, in 6 months, I'm gonna have this, and I'm gonna do that. And so the things I said I was gonna do was like, in 6 months from today, at this current point, I maybe had less than $1,000 to my name, probably maybe a few hundred. I was like, 6 months from today, I'm gonna have 50 G's in the bank. I'm gonna have, I'm gonna get rid of this Tundra, I'm gonna get a BMW. I'm gonna build this brand, JetSet, and people are gonna be inspired by it and want to, level up, and they're gonna be, drawn towards it. And, I'm just gonna be like on a whole nother level. And he's like, do you know how stupid you sound? Like just making fun of me. I was like, okay. I was like, I bet you, $100 that I'll do it. And I was like, and I'll say it on video right now, because I know I'm gonna do it. So I'll say it on video, and I'm gonna show you this video in like 6 months. And then he's like, no, you're not, blah, 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 blah. And all the other friends are laughing because they all roasted me. I was like, all right, you'll see. And so, I still carry the same mindset today, which is why, I never fucking sold an event with 700 people. The most maybe like 150. And that was with like months of promotion. This was like less than like a month and a half of selling tickets and like 700 people. So in my head, I'm nervous, I'm scared. I'm like, I don't think we could do this. But I'm like, I know I will. And so I'm scrolling through because I have no Wi-Fi, and I see this video. And then I look at it, and I'm like, holy shit, I did all of this. I was like, I got like 50 G's in the bank, I got the BMW, and I'm building like a brand on social media, and people are like drawn to it. And so I send it in a group chat to like the 6 or 7 people that were there. And everybody replies saying, wow, man, I guess you actually did it. Or congrats, man, I guess we were wrong. Except for the one person I made the bet with. And like I said, he's my boy. He came from a different country. He's a foreign exchange student. I was the first person he met in this country at the gym. And I brought him on to the basketball team and introduced him to everybody, and like way before he met anybody else. So we hung out like almost every day. Like he was my boy. And but like he supported me. He made signs for me when I was on the game. He didn't make the team, so he made signs for me whenever we would play, or whenever I would play. And he would scream at the refs if it was a foul, and I didn't actually foul them, and be like, get the hell out, refs. He didn't foul him. So like, he rode for me. But when it came to business, like I think he was looking out for my best interest, and he was just like, dude, it's not gonna work. Like you're crazy. But he just didn't have a belief level as high as mine. And so he was the only one who didn't reply. And like I said, since we bumped heads, in my head, I was like, yo, like he's mad, he's mad. Like, he was hating. I cut him off. I haven't talked to him in like 6 months. It ended up, I think it was like 8 months when I saw the video. I forgot about it. It was like 8 months. And then I was like, he's mad as shit. Like, I proved my haters wrong. Like, fuck yeah, I feel good, right? And, I think and a lot of people here, like, want to prove haters wrong because, people doubt you, and it's like, well, I'm gonna show them up. And so that's how I'm feeling now. That's how I'm feeling. And then, I keep doing my own thing. And I didn't care about anybody else. I didn't connect with anybody else from back home. I had 3 boys. I had 3 boys who were not a part of that group that I actually did stay in contact with, and that was it. And like the other 10 people on my team, the other 15 people I used to hang out with, they're just gone. And so about another 6 months passed. So it's probably like 12 or 14 months. By this point, I'm doing multiple 6-figure months. I'm traveling. I'm throwing, like masterminds with like 100 people, and I'm doing a lot. This is where some of you guys might have first started hearing about me. I have like 60, 70K on social media. I'm feeling some type of way about myself. Ego's through the roof. I think I'm this great stud, and I'm thinking that all these big entrepreneurs should talk to me and work with me and collaborate with me because I've done so much more for my age. And I'm all in my own head. And then I get a text around this time from my buddy. I'm not gonna say his name, but from my buddy, and he's like, bro, I just want to let you know that I'm sorry. I apologize. He's like, you're killing it. I'm proud of you. I should have never said that. And like everybody from the hometown is rooting for you. He's like, keep going, keep going. And when I first saw this, I'm like, yeah, I feel good right now. I proved the fucking haters wrong, and now they're coming back to me. And, and they're saying this type of shit. Like, yo, you probably want something, right? And then, so that happens. So I'm like, I'm not gonna reply to this. Like, I'm gonna show him that I leveled up. He can't even get in contact with me anymore. But then I think back, and I'm like, yo, for him to say that with as high as, like, that competitiveness and the ego and, how much we bumped heads, like, he really, truly means it. Like, it actually is, like, serious. Like he's not just saying that shit. It's 14 months later, if he's saying this, like, he's feeling some type of way, and he really actually means it. So after about 12 hours, I decided to reply, and I'm like, thank you, bro. I appreciate that. Like, you don't even know that actually means the world to me. Like, I appreciate you. Let's catch up soon or something. And that was it. And about another 12 hours later, I'm getting a call from my high school coach. And I'm like, why is my coach calling me? At first I talked to my boy I haven't talked to in like 14 months. And then, like, the next day, like, my coach is calling me. And he used to call me all the time. He's a super cool dude. He's like, like, how you doing? Let's, like, keep doing what you're doing. But I got to the point where I just kind of stopped replying because it was like over the course of months. And then so he stopped texting me. So he's calling me, and I'm like, oh my God, like, what does he want to talk about now? Like, doesn't he know I'm busy? And I answer the phone, and I'm like, yo, what's up, man? And he's like, it's your friend. He's like, you got in a car accident last night, and he passed away. This is 24 hours after he texted me after not talking for 14 months. And I'm sitting here like there's no fucking way, dude. Like there's no way. Like, I'm thinking, like, yo, is he okay? He's in the hospital. Like, are you sure? Like, I'm hearing this news. It's the first call right when I woke up. Like, 2 minutes after waking up, this is the first call I get. And I'm sitting here, and I'm like, fuck. And I'm the type of person where I don't really get very emotional. I try to find the reasoning behind something right away and how I can twist it into some sort of positive impact. And so I'm sitting here, and I'm just, like, shocked. Like I was pretty fucked up in the head. And so I reactivate all my social media that I deactivated from high school. And then I post, I'm like, yo, I'm gonna go back to my hometown. I'm gonna do a memorial for my friend. And I'm gonna tie a charity cause to it, so that way it has an even bigger impact. It was around, like, Thanksgiving or something like that. So then I do this, and we raise like 3,000 pounds of food or something like that. And like, the post goes viral on Twitter. And again, these guys from my hometown, they don't like me at this point because I blocked all of them, and I thought I was too good for them. But yet the post went viral on Twitter with me just posting one post, like, hey, memorial at this location, tomorrow I'll be there. Thousands of retweets, thousands of people show up to this memorial, raise thousands of pounds of food. And I'm just sitting there, and I'm just like, I don't even know how to react. And my core group, those 3 boys that I told you guys I stayed in contact with, they're all with him. Like, they're all hanging out at his house, and then he left to go home, and then it happened. So, like, they just saw him like 20 minutes before it happened. And so I'm sitting there, and I'm like, fuck, dude, what the fuck? How is this happening? And I tried to, my immediate purpose was like, this is what I want to believe is the good to come from it. Me doing this, like, charity good drive, and this helps this many families around Thanksgiving. Like, I'm trying to, like, give myself some sort of purpose, but not necessarily something I was passionate about or that actually made me feel like that purpose. And I just kept trying to search and figure out what can come from this. What is the purpose behind this? Like, I know this needs to affect me in some sort of way that will make, be different, will make some sort of actual impact, whether it's my life, whether it's somebody else's life, because I believe that everybody is in your life for a certain purpose, to either make you grow, or make you realize something, or to make you have some sort of breakthrough to accelerate you to that next level of life. And so I'm trying to search, man. I'm trying to think what the hell it is. On this journey of searching, and so actually I'll go back a little bit. So at this food drive, I'm standing with one of my homeboys in the very back. I don't want to be around all these people that I have bad vibes with. So I'm standing in the very back, and he's the only, this was like my brother. Like, his mom was my mom, his dad was my dad. Like, I wanted to stay the night. I'm like, oh, well, he's gonna be there. His name is Dylan. I'm like, Dylan's gonna be there. And like, oh, okay, yeah, you can stay the night. And so I've known him for probably 6th grade. I probably stayed the night at his house more than I stayed at my own house. And so I'm standing back with him, and he's just like he's the only guy who, once I leveled up, who's been in my new car, who's been in my new house. He actually even worked for me. I have screenshots on my phone. He used to do, I suck at grammar. He was really good at grammar. So he used to, fix my captions before I posted it to make sure there's no grammatical errors. He was a smart dude. And so, and also, he was one of my only friends that I told about X-Commerce 2 years ago, and the whole vision for it and what I want to do with it. Literally, in 2017. And so, I'm standing back with him, like when we're leaning against something, there's like this many people at the park by the memorial, everybody's, praying their respects. And he's just like, man, it's crazy how this can happen. Like you just never know when it can be you. Like this is why you gotta, enjoy people in your life. You gotta, make sure that you are a good person and, don't, and I told him, I was like, bro, he texted me yesterday. And he's like, man, everyone's like, it's almost like he knew, the world's just sending some sort of energy where they didn't want him to leave on bad terms with you. And I'm like, fuck, dude. And then about 4 months later, after that, I get a call from my buddy, Bobby. He's actually here. Bobby, where are you? Right here. Come here, bro. So I get a call from my buddy, Bobby. At this point in time, Bobby is in school. He's playing rugby. And he's one of the 3 people I stayed in contact with. Now he's made 7 figures in e-commerce. And, I had to really, really get on Bobby to get into business. He was like, nah, man, rugby's the way, bro, man. I got a full scholarship. So Bobby's dropped out. Bobby's made 7 figures in e-commerce. Real quick, give it up for Bobby, man. This is my boy right here. I know this guy since 2nd grade. I remember he impressed me. We were doing laps in PE, and he was like, yeah, man, my dad's like a famous actor, man. And he's like, I could get you on a show or on a TV. I'm like, oh, okay, bro, we're hanging out. And so yeah, I've known him forever. So I get a call from Bobby. I'm up in Big Bear. We have a place up there, and I go up there to work and get away for a few days. And I get a call, and it's like, he's like, bro, it's Dylan. He got in a motorcycle accident. And he's in the hospital. We don't know what's going on. And I'm like, what? Like, what? There's no, like, I didn't even know. Literally, I'm just like sitting there, like, he's like, bro, like, are you there? And I'm just like, I couldn't even fucking talk, dude. But again, I still couldn't cry. Like, I'm trying to, like, immediately try to process it. I'm in denial. And I'm like, well, dude, like, are you sure? And like, well, dude, like, he was on a motorcycle, and he was about to meet up with us. We just left his house. He was about to meet up with us. And then he didn't answer his phone. His location was in the same spot. And, we just called the police. They said there was a motorcycle accident. We don't know. Like, they haven't verified it's him. We're just hoping his phone's dead. And I'm like, fuck, dude. And so, I'm like, fuck, I gotta fucking leave it from Big Bear. I'm gonna go back to my hometown and figure out, what's going on. And then I end up, getting on a call with him, and I find out, like, yo, like, it's for real. My buddy, my best fucking brother, like, passed away. And I'm sitting there, dude, and like, fuck, it's an emotional train wreck. Like, 2 of the 5 guys I hung out with within like 4 months. And I'm just like, I'm out here, like, not hanging out with them, not catering with them, not nurturing those relationships because I'm like, trying to do my own thing. And then, like, and this shit happens. I'm like, what the hell's going on? And I'm trying to, again, find a purpose from this, dude. And so I'm like, yo, like, gotta do the same thing. We do another memorial. And you know how shitty it feels to see the entire same group of people at the same park doing the same thing within a 4-month time period from that group of friends? And it's like, fuck, like, it's just going through each friend, like, what the fuck's going on, dude? And, like, it's just fucked up, man. This guy, me and him used to be in a car crew. He used to drive around. Like, you look at his pictures on my Instagram, go back, or pictures on his Instagram, it's his Corvette and my, like, modded up, little racer car. And he goes down my Instagram 4, 5, 6 years, and, like, he's, like, the only person who's consistently in my pictures. He's the only person besides the 2 other buddies I have here today who I didn't unfollow or block on social media. And I'm just like, fuck, man. Like, and like I said, he worked for me at the time, too. And he never wanted to be an entrepreneur. He wanted to go to college, wanted to be an engineer, but he never talked shit either. He supported me. He's like, yo, man, like, I want you to win. I want you to, like, to do your thing. It's not for me, but do your thing. Even in high school and everybody else was talking shit, he was like, just do your thing, man. And so, that happens, and I'm like, fuck, dude. And I'm still trying to find a purpose for the first thing, or a reason, like, to just make it a positive impact on that first thing. And I'm just like, dude, how can I even make this a positive impact? Like, there's just nothing, dude. And then I'm like, I just gotta stop trying to think of a purpose. I'm just gonna stop trying to think about it. And eventually, it kind of came to me in a sense of what I wanted it to be, but I didn't know if it was necessarily real, but it made sense in my head. So I was like, I'm just gonna roll with it. And it was me going, man, so what I realized was that, and this started happening as my brand and my influence started growing, and the level ups kept coming, and then it got to the point where I kind of detached myself from money because I kind of lost it and regained it so many times in business. I was just like, I came immune to, like, I'm like, yo, you're supposed to fuck up and lose money. You're supposed to, feel broke. You're supposed to feel like this. Like, that's just gonna happen. Like, stop being emotional about it. And so then I kind of normal. I didn't care anymore. And then I kind of realized, I'm like, yo, like even though I proved my hater wrong and that was like a motivating factor for me for so long, I'm like, I would take all that feeling that drives me to have my boy back. Like, the trade-off wasn't even like on the same scale. It's like, doesn't even make sense, right? And I realized, I'm like, yo, I wasn't doing this to prove anybody wrong. I was doing this to prove myself right. And the reason why I'm building my brand and doing this and doing that is not necessarily to just add extra sources of income, but it's to show other people, hey, people talk shit, people don't believe in you, people say it's too good to be true, that if you believe in enough, right, that you can make it happen. Because I feel like a lot of people, you guys probably know other people like this, they want this big dream, big vision, and somebody's like, you can't do that. And then like, oh fuck, like, he's right, and they don't even try. So I feel like a lot of people who have massive potential don't even tap into it just a tiny bit because like of what other people are saying and how people view them. And so I'm like, man, so I'm doing this to prove myself right. I don't care about proving anybody wrong, and I'm doing this to inspire other people to prove themselves right as well and change their motives. So immediately that's what I took. I'm like, yo, this is what I believe, and I started leveling up because now like none of that money mattered, nothing mattered except that, and so I started seeing massive growth and momentum in my business and my life in general, and but I'm still like trying to like figure out like with Dylan, like man, what's going on? Like, why can't I like put together a purpose out of this? Like what is it? And I kept realizing, like, sometimes you have to stop thinking about it and let it just kind of sit in the back of your mind, and subconsciously it'll come to you. You'll just feel it. And so I think it was November when my buddy Dylan passed away, and it was right around like a little bit before Black Friday time. And I remember the last conversation I had with Dylan was after I built the the X-Commerce website and explained my vision for it. I'm like, dude, it's gonna be game-changing. It's gonna disrupt the whole industry. Like, it's just gonna be nuts. Like, everybody's gonna latch onto this vision. Everybody's gonna get involved with it. And, it's just gonna be crazy. I think this is gonna be my big hit, right? And he's like, dude, no, I see the vision. This makes sense. And I'm very logical, so I break it down in a way that makes sense. He's like, this makes sense, bro. He's like, dude, like, you're gonna kill it, bro. And that was the last conversation I had with him. So so there's been multiple times. X-Commerce has been around for 2 years, but yeah, I've been a loss, like losing money over the last 2 years because of bad business relationships, bad business deals, not putting enough effort into it, or just certain things just going wrong. And yeah, so it's done hundreds of thousands of revenue over the last couple of years, and I've only made took home 13,000 of it because I made bad decisions, bad partnerships. And I was like, dude, I'm just gonna shut this thing down. I was like, we're keep it running. We're not even talking about it. It's just pulling money out the account. The expenses keep going lower. The account, literally the account for the business account was negative because we had all these expenses and I didn't cut them. And then we just let them keep rolling, like $4 or $5K a month, and business expenses keep rolling, even though we weren't touching or doing anything with it. And I'm like, dude, I'm just gonna fucking shut this shit down. Like, fuck it. But then I remember my last conversation with Dylan. And I'm like, who am I? My last picture and vision that I painted in his head and how he perceives that I'm gonna become, who am I to say, never mind, it's too hard? Like, that's who he is going to remember me as. That's who he's going to think who I will become. And then if, he passes away and he will never hear that information that I actually ran with this thing, that's fucked up. I was like, fuck this. I'm fucking relaunching this, and I'm going to figure out a way to make this thing work. And then so around, Black Friday, I did a new launch. I brought in new people, and we literally now, we launched, and we have this new crazy vision, and things are going amazing. Things are going great. Making more money than ever made before, and we haven't even launched yet. And people are latching on. People are reaching out. People networks and TV stations. People it's going there's just so much momentum right now. And then I'm just this. That's what it is. That's my purpose. That's my why. And then I come across an Instagram page that Dylan's mom made and my high school teacher, and it was a memorial page. So I wanted to see if it was real. So I'm like, yo, who runs this page? And then it's she's like, it's Patty, Dylan's mom. And I'm like, text me. So I text her, ask her what it is, and pretty much my teacher and Patty, Dylan's mom, pretty much made a memorial together where every year they're gonna give away a scholarship to somebody that reminds them of Dylan. Now, Dylan wasn't just a smart kid. He was smart, he was competitive, charismatic. He was the one that everybody's parents was I like that kid, but I don't like the rest of your friends. And he was but he had relationships with everybody. So, for example, he's friends with the drug dealers, he's friends with the cool kids, he's friends with the athletes, he's friends with the nerds, he's friends with, the kids that have, mental illness. I remember he had beat some kid's ass because, somebody, punched, a mental, whatever the correct terminology is, I apologize. But, and so Dylan beat his ass, in 8th grade. And because he's, actually cared about people. So Dylan was just a good person. So every year they find somebody like that who reminds them of them, they give them a scholarship. And I was like, all right, that's super dope. I was like, I want to donate. Where can I send the money? And she was like, okay, let me get it set up. I was like, do you have Zelle? She's like, I'll get it set up and I'll let you know. And so she reached back out to me a couple days later. She's like, hey, I got my Zelle set up. You can go ahead and send it. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I was already planning on sharing the story. Like I said, I share it at small masterminds. I do. All my friends and all my business partners know this story. I was already planning on sharing it. And then I thought, I'm like, yo, how cool would it be that, and actually, before I do this, actually, let me FaceTime Patty right now. Hopefully she answers. Set it right here a little bit. Hey, you have like 2 or 3 minutes? All right, cool. Can you hold that real quick? So I'm on stage right now, and I'm talking about what motivates me, what inspires me, what makes me who I am. And like I told you, and I texted you the other day, Dylan's a huge, huge reason behind that. And I think all of these 700 people here can probably appreciate that that's my motive. So real quick, can you guys show some appreciation for my boy Dylan real quick? Turn the camera around, turn the camera around. Face it that way. And so hopefully you can hear me, Patty. So, like I said, Dylan is one of the main driving forces why I do what I do, because the vision, the last time I talked to him, how he thought and who he thought I was gonna become is what I wanted, I didn't want to screw up that vision. And so I reached out to Patty, I texted Patty. I'm like, hey, where can I send the money? She texted me back, like, you can send the money here. And so what I haven't told you yet, Patty, is actually what I wanna do is I wanted to, I was like, hey, I'm gonna talk about the story, so why don't I just do the donation on stage? So, parents, can you guys bring it up, please? I called my high school teacher, and I asked them, how much they raised. They said, last year we did 5,000, this year we did 10,000. And I was like, cool, I'll double that. So today I wanna donate $10,000 to the memorial scholarship for my best brother and friend, Dylan Jolly. So, Patty, you didn't know this because I told you last minute. And I wish I told you early. I wish I thought of this earlier so I could have told you. But I planned when I turned 21 to donate $21,000 that month. My dad right here, my mom right here, they always told me, if you're not humble, the world will humble you, and you need to give back to the people who can't ever return it, because otherwise the world will take it away from you. And I made a lot of money over the past few years, and I haven't really done that. I did little things here and there just because I'm like, hey, sure, but I've done nothing that actually meant something to me. And so I set that goal. I'm like, I'm gonna donate $21,000 this year, but I didn't know how I was gonna do it. I was like, I'm gonna have my followers maybe help me or something. I don't know how I'm gonna do it. And so I talked to Lundy, my high school teacher. He also was our friend. He played basketball with us at the gym. He's an amazing person. And me, Dylan, and Lundy were all had a great relationship. And I was like, I'm gonna do whatever they do. I don't care what it is. I'm gonna match that because this is what keeps me going. This is what keeps me up at night. People say, Josh, how do you have so much energy? Why do you work so hard? Why don't you stop? And it's because of this. I have different factors. It's not about the money anymore. I got to a point where it's way bigger than myself. And as you can see, it's expanded out to way bigger than myself. And other people flashed onto the vision. They don't know why I'm so passionate about this vision, but they see the passion, they feel the passion, and they know I'm serious about it, and they know I'm gonna take it all the way to the end, all the way until it gets to wherever it's supposed to be. And so literally the last few months, has probably slept an average of maybe 3 or 4 hours a night, trying to make this event happen, trying to manage my other businesses, trying to become that person who I told him I was gonna become. And it's kind of crazy because I was talking to my high school teacher the other day, and I told him how to match it, and I was just telling him the story of how this all happened. I'm actually surprised I held it together so long, because usually when I think about it, I cry, which is weird because I never usually cry. And I talked to Lundy on the phone, maybe if you want to show him. I talked to Lundy on the phone, my high school teacher, and I just couldn't stop crying. Like, tears are coming out my eyes, and I'm like, dude, I don't ever cry. I'm crying on the phone with my high school teacher. But I can't control it. I can't stop. It's like, I'm not like huffing and puffing and having a panic attack. My eyes are just watering. And he's like, dude, it's because it's real. Like, you actually mean it. And I realized, like, you hear that phrase, your why doesn't mean enough to you until you cry. And I always thought, it's just cliche. Everybody's like, I want to help people, I want to impact people, I want to change lives. Like, everybody says that, but like, do they actually truly, really feel it? Is that who they are? And when I had this conversation with Lundy, I realized, like, this is who I am. And, this is why, I stay after events and I talk to people so long, and I do these random meetups with people, and I end up spending like all night there, and I get no sleep the next day because I truly care. Because I feel like I'm a living, true, breathing example of, continuing to push the limits, pushing the borders, no matter what anybody says. And, like I said, and I wish I didn't have to have this happen to realize that. But I'm glad I did realize it. And it means the world to me. And I'm glad to share this moment with all of you guys. This is literally the whole reason this means more to me than anything. And as I realized, once I became more selfless, but like genuinely selfless, like I actually cared. I didn't just say I cared, but I actually cared. Like, everything changed. My life has leveled up in the last few months, and I know for a fact it's because of that. And I don't know where I'm going to be the next 3 years. I'm excited to see it. And, I'm excited to see where everybody here goes. I hope everybody here finds their why. I hope you don't have to go through some shit to find your why. So, when somebody asks you, hey, why do you do what you do? I want to buy my mom a house. Like, do you just say that because it sounds good and, you think it'd be cool? Or is there really a deeper meaning behind it? So I challenge everybody here today to find what that deeper meaning really is, because I truly believe that when you find it, like, you will have no limit. You will have no potential. I was talking to some people the other day in the Cabo Mastermind, and I'm like, yo, bro, why do you want to be rich? He said, well, I want to have options. I said, why do you want to have options? I was like, have no options. You can have choices, but have no options. Why does it got to be this or that? Just have both, have it all. Why does it got to be, the Lambo or the Ferrari? Just have to buy both of them. Why do you got to choose between, going to college and, making 7 figures a year? Just do both. You don't need to have options. And, the perspective has completely changed. And, I'm excited to see where this goes. Like I said, this event was only supposed to be a one-time thing, but I'm thinking we're going to keep it going and, keep this, make it an annual thing. And I don't know how I held it together decently enough. I thought I wouldn't be able to talk at all. So I'm really grateful for every single person here. This means a lot to me. Like, if nothing else happened at this event, if I didn't make any money at this event, which on front end it actually didn't, this is worth it. I told Patty, I was like, oh, this is gonna make my day. I was like, actually, this is gonna make my entire fucking life. And I want to do more. I pledge to doing more the rest of this year, the rest of my life. And Dylan inspired me to do that. So I want to thank you for having such a wonderful son. For being there for me, letting me stay over, being a second mom. I apologize for not talking, reaching out the last few years. Now, I always tell myself I'm Mr. Tough Guy and I don't cry. It's too cool to cry. But the last 6 months, I dropped the ego, I seek counsel, I looked for more in life. And, I realized I tell my guys this all the time, my team, that it's environment. What really makes me fulfilled is environment, being around good energy, having good people in my circle, and people who truly want me to win just as much as Dylan wanted me to win. And I want them to win the same exact way. And, so I want to ask you guys today, if anybody else wants to donate or anything like that, I can give you guys the contact information. You can reach out to my mom. We'll put you in contact. Somebody this year will get a nice scholarship. And that's why I'm here today. So I want to thank all of you guys. Thank you.